Thank you for these two great teams. We have to play here. Thank you for a beautiful day and this wonderful game. In Jesus' name, everyone said. Number 14. Number 14. Number 2, Christian Kideke on the carry. Number 14.
6 for the Bruins. Sorry, we've been off air for just a few minutes. A little technical difficulty. Now we're back. They've already picked up one first down. The Bruins has. They receive the opening kickoff. Be 2nd down and 6 at their own 46-yard line. Bunch formation to the left. Quarterback number 14, Michael Kent on the carry around the left side. Brought down by number 8, Tate Barnard, which is also his dad, to be the head football coach of the Stillwater Pioneers. Bring up 3rd down and 2 at the 48-yard line.
Maybe just a little bit different philosophy for the Bruins. They haven't elected to throw the ball at all. They're keeping it on the ground. Now, in the third grade game, we saw the Glenpool Warriors weren't shy at all. They threw it probably about as many times as they ran the football. We got an official's timeout.
Yeah, they sent him off the kit because of his knee pads, probably.
Which means he'll have to sit out one play unless they want to go
They-
ahead and now they'll make it an official timeout, so he will not be forced to set out a play. We'd like to thank Dick's Sporting Goods for stepping up each and every time that we need help as far as doing sports in the local area. I'd also like to point out they help not only with football, but they help out our lacrosse program, basketball. And it's not just the Broken Arrow area that Kerry Sumter is able to help out. They donate equipment to youth sports teams. They donate scholarship money. Dick's Sporting Goods they've bought into your kids, I guess is what I'm saying. So if you have an opportunity to buy sporting equipment for your sons and daughters, think about going to Dick's because they're definitely doing things to help our children. For the snap.
Too many men on the field against the Bruins. Not been a good 2 plays for Bartlesville as they had second down and 4, and now all of a sudden it's third down and 7.
With 5:47 left in quarter number 1, try to keep you abreast of how much time's elapsed, a little bit more than we did in the first game because we don't have video at this point. It's going to be kind of like a radio broadcast, which kind of takes me back to my school days. That's what I actually got trained to do. Is apparently we got the thumbs up, we got the video back rolling, and we have a loose football. But nope,
They're calling him down at the 42-yard line. Loss of yard on the play, bring up 4th down, and looks like 8, closing in on 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And after giving up that first down, Stillwater's defense has definitely tightened up and bring up 4th down and 8. And Glenpool's going to go for, Bartlesville's going to go for it.
they
And
go
they'll
with
get
the
a quick
hard
offside.
count,
And
they get
that'll
a free-
shorten it up to 4th down and 3. Now it's manageable.
Well, and that's one of the plays that you talk about in all levels. You go on the hard count. If you can get him to move, you can get some free yards that way. We got one of the Bartlesville fans down front. He's got the Bartlesville flag out, and he's supporting real well into the secondary. And look out. First down and more. Bounces to the outside. Inside the 30. Foot race to the corner of the end zone. Inside the 10. Nice pursuit finally, but a huge first down for the Bruins offense.
Brought down, looks like, by number 44, Jaden Adams for the Pioneers as he didn't give up on the play, bring up 1st and goal from the 10-yard line for the Bruins. Nice run by, I do believe that was a quarterback, number 14, Michael Kent. And we're down to under 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Kent made a really nice move right at about the 40 and was able to bounce it to the outside. And then we just simply had a foot race up the sidelines, high snap. But he was able to control it.
That's where he should have put his foot in the ground. Go, step up, go in there and get your 2 to 3 yards instead of trying to bounce it out. And that was the running back, Cade Lackey. And instead of trying to bounce it out, go get your 2 or 3 and re-snap the ball again.
And then you got Tate Bernard with a very nice play on the defense. He sealed the edge. And not only did he keep the running back from being able to bounce it to the outside, he closed down and made the tackle. So his coaches have to be proud of the way he played that one. Bartlesville Bruin quarterback, again on the carry. He's a hard runner. He'll shake the first tackle and get back down to about the original line of scrimmage as we now have 1st and goal. Ball rests at the 6-yard line.
Jaden Adams brings up another tackle, and as we talked about in the first game, now we're under 3.5 minutes, 1 possession. At the rate it's going, there's a good chance it can, by the time the Stillwater gets the ball, it could be close to 2 minutes remaining just in the first quarter. And we have another offsides on Stillwater, as Bartlesville did that plenty of times Tuesday night against the Spartans as they came to the Bigsby and beat the Bigsby Red 4th grade team, 4th grade white, I do believe, 14-0. But they played so good defensively. Bartlesville did. Bobble on the snap, which slows everything down, but he finds a way to get to the edge
Touchdown.
Touchdown on the play. The quarterback, I do believe, number 14,
You know, and you
Michael Kent.
Michael Kent put it in the end zone, but one of the neat things to watch right after the touchdown is all the exuberance the young guys from the Bruins had. One of them even comes to the sideline, does a little quick chest bump with the
Assistant coach.
And now, as we talked about during the first game, we're going to have our first try for the point after, and we're going to do it via the foot, but we got to have one more player. See if we can find the number of the kicker. The holder looks like number 6. So that means Kate Lackey will spot it. The kick is up. Did he get it? He got it.
And now that quickly makes it 8-0. And I do believe the kicker was Weathers, right? Number 86?
86.
And he put it right through the middle. And now that if Stillwater doesn't kick, that's quickly a 2-possession game now. And it changes your thought process, especially if Bartlesville scores and kicks it again, and you're 3 possessions down if you can't kick. And, boy, I tell you, as we talked about, first possession, they took 5 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. A lot of times it takes me that long time just to get up and go to the bathroom. But anyway, that's about 2:50 remaining in the first quarter, and it's all 8-0 Bartlesville, and takes it down. They take the ball down 58 yards on their first possession and punch it in the end zone.
So now it's going to be up to the Stillwater Pioneer offense to see if they can answer. We'll try to set their offense as soon as we can. That's one of the things that we keep working on, and we try to make this process up here a little better each and every year. This year, the rosters are much better for us. Next year, maybe what we can do is see if we can't get them to put some positions on here so we can set the offenses. I know Richard's got some names marked already on the Stillwater group. Not sure if he's located the quarterback yet, but we'll do that as soon as we can. And we've got the Bartlesville Bruins set to kick it away. Of course, we spot the ball at the 40-yard line. That's the first kick we've seen today where the team actually kicked it away.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line for the Pioneers.
Thomas Berger on the recovery for the Stillwater group, and we'll get an opportunity to look at their offense for the very first time. And as Richard pointed out, we've burnt about 3/4 of the first quarter without the Stillwater group getting to touch the ball, so we'll see their offense now coming up next.
Clock's time pretty accurate on that. Yep. We have a reverse wishbone in the backfield in the gun formation, single receiver to the left, single receiver to the right. Hand off to number 23, David Thomas, and he tries to get around the right side, and great run on first down as he picks up 4 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 6, and it's always important that first snap. Get the snap, get the handoff.
Well, and you talked correctly so in that very first ball game. You've got to stay in front of the chains in youth football, because if you don't throw it a whole lot, it's hard to pick up more than 10, 15 yards with only 4 downs to work with.
2nd down and 5, same formation, singles to the left and right, reverse wishbone in the shotgun formation, cornerback coming off the edge. And I expect you to, if they know that's a 7-play player or a player that's not going to get the ball thrown to him, I should say, those corners are going to start cheating in the good team.
Well, that was Acuff that was split as far out to this sideline as you could possibly get. And as Richard talked about, they didn't honor him at all. And we'll send Acuff back out here again, and we'll put Mr. Bernard
back in the same formation again. 3rd down and 7. From their own 35-yard line. Nice job on defense, but it's going to be 4th and 2 on the carry. Number 4, Anel DeRogers for the Pioneers. Bring up 4th down and 2, and we're closing in on 1:15 remaining in the first quarter of play.
Christian, number 2, sealed the edge and got some help on the play. We'll just say it right now. It's extremely difficult for us, as high up as we are, to see the silver letters or the numbers on the
Bartlesville
Bruins. So we're going to work as much as we can with the monitor. We're dealing with a glare problem in the press box. We'll try to fix that. And on 4th down, he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And you see what they did, blitzing off the edge as Christian Katuku came off the edge, wasn't even guarding blitz, caught him in the backfield. Turnover on downs, 1st and 10 now for the Bruins at the Stillwater 41-yard line. And if the Bartlesville Bruins can go down right here and find a way to score, you're really putting Stillwater in a deficit if they're not much of a passing team as we close in on 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Snap on a play. Too many men on the field, it looks like, for Stillwater, as the young gentleman didn't even get to the sideline. But they're going to call false start, so I was definitely confused because they threw a flag on a kid, and the kid was still on the field in front of him, not even.
Tommy Mills wasn't able to get all the way to the sidelines, but that's one that now, as you see, we've got a little confab going on between the officials. Maybe Mr. Makoff picked up on the fact that
there's 12 players against them.
There we go. We've got offsetting penalties.
Exactly. So we did see it right. And it'll bring up.
Now I'm more confused. Offsetting penalties, but yet we marked off 5 yards against the offense.
Well, because maybe the sport having too many men on the field happened before the snap. So
pre-snap penalty.
Yeah, pre-snap penalty takes over for the. It was so that would not go against the Bartlesville for false start. There's the holes. Take your 2 to 3 yards, and of course we got a tackle in the backfield, and it'll be a holding call on the edge.
Kean Knowles, big number 99, was not in on the tackle, but what he actually was able to do is he took the 2 blockers away from the running back, and then the linebacker filled in nicely. Again, we're only talking fourth graders, but that was a great play by number 99, and then help got there in a hurry. We do have an injured player. We'll try to check the number as soon as we can. As we got a little break in the action, I'll give us an opportunity to talk about a few of our sponsors. We've obviously highlighted on Dick's quite a bit. We'd like to thank the fine folks at Permabuilt as well. Hey, if you have foundation problems, call the professionals at Permabuilt. They offer you, of course, free estimates each and every time they come out and look at the job. To get a hold of Permabuilt, just simply give them a call at 918-835-1125. That's 835-1125. Thanks to Permabuilt and Mr. Kent for stepping up and helping sponsor INFC Championship Saturday.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball, Vikings basketball,
Woodlawn soccer,
the Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
We're starting the second quarter. It'll be first down and 15 after the holding call. Clock ran. They let the clock run out.
So the Bruins will actually start their second full possession. Stillwater has only had one possession. Stillwater was able to put it in the end zone and then kick the all-important 2-point conversion. So that is where we set right now. It's 8-0 Bruins. And they'll set in the shotgun as we start the second quarter, and we're ready to go.
Nice penetration upfield, but doing a good job cutting underneath of it. Brought down by number 44, Jaden Adams. On the carry was the quarterback, number 14, Michael Kent. Picks up about 3 yards, brings up second down and 12 for the Bartlesville Bruins as they have stayed constantly over in Stillwater territory.
That was Daniel Hornbeck that got in the backfield. He was able to disrupt the play, but as Richard talked about, great cut by the quarterback, so it turned it into a positive yards. He'll take the direct snap, and Michael Kent will head to the far sidelines, but it's played nicely by the Stillwater Pioneer defense, and he won't.
And held to Rogers. Great job scraping down the line of scrimmage for the Stillwater to take away that cutback. That's the key. It's one thing to set the edge, but if those defensive line inside linebackers don't flow, they don't get the cutback, then therefore they have a big gain, but they did a good job scraping that down.
Basically no gain on the play, so they're going to look at third down and short. Kent throws his first pass and has a man out there, caught for a huge first down.
They might have roughing the passer, it looks like.
Well, now in youth football, does that tack 15 onto it or just 10?
Not sure.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the officials together. We may have, again, it's a possibility, and I haven't seen them give any signal yet, but the way they're talking, we might actually have offsetting penalties again, because I would think that they would have left the spot downfield.
But I don't know. I mean, personal foul, roughing the passer against Bartlesville.
Now, are we going to say that the pass was
Stillwater, excuse me.
incomplete? Or okay,
No, he's got it marked.
Right.
He had his bean
there
back
you
down
go.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, sometimes you see it on the game of the week.
And so it's added to the end of the reception. So
Absolutely.
it was a reception.
Pass
And
is
he's
caught.
telling his coaches, Stillwater not happy with the call, so they tried to follow him down inside the 25, and you know that's a no-no.
No.
And so now it's 1st down and 10 at the Stillwater 14-yard line. Big reception, and then a personal foul after for roughing the quarterback. And Bartlesville's knocking on the door again with 6:45 and clock counting inside. There you go, right up the middle. Go get your 4 or 5 yards. Keep the clock running. That's what I like about Bartlesville. That's what they did when I saw them on Tuesday. Great blocking up front by Braxton Loudermilk and that offensive line. Unfortunately, I know his dad, but hey, that's a whole nother conversation. And great job by number 11, Hunter Holmes.
Plenty of pursuit on that last play into the backfield for the Pioneer defense, but they just simply couldn't make the tackle. Michael Kent will shake one at the 5.
Nice tackle, though, by number 44 again, as he seems to be everywhere. Jaden Adams brings up 3rd down and 1 from the 5, make it the 4-yard line. Inside the 5-yard line, bring up 3rd down and 1.
Bartlesville coach signals the play in. Michael Kent does not come to the sidelines to get the play.
Blown up. Great job handing off, but good backside pursuit.
Jeremy Foster was there to clean it up, but he had plenty of help as the first initial contact was made by, I like to call them the big nasties up front. As
And I
he
think it was
defeated the
99,
block.
Kyle
Yes.
Knowles was inside along with number 30, Parker Patterson.
So that's
So it brings up 4th down and 3, it looks like.
Do you risk a pass inside the 10-yard line? And
No,
now
you try
on
to
the
draw them
hard
off
count?
sides. That's what you do. It'll be half the distance to the goal. Looks like that'll probably be enough for a 1st down, and it will be. And it'll be 1st and goal as they have drawn Stillwater off sides 3 times already in this first half action. We're down to 5:15 remaining in the first half. Has this just flown by?
Yeah, none of the offsides was as critical as that one because they did have them backed up 4th and about 4 where it was 3rd and 1. So now you got it 1st and goal, and the quarterback will take it himself inside the 2. He'll dive. Did he get there? Look for the signal. Got it. Touchdown, Bruins.
Number 14, again, Michael Kent on the carry, and it brings the score to 14-0 in favor of the Bartlesville Bruins.
So it's kind of turned into the Michael Kent show. Is not only can he do it with his feet, but the big play on that particular drive was the big pitch and catch that Kent was able to take care of on 3rd down.
And take the hit.
And we've got Weathers back out there. He'll try another one via the foot.
Oh, no.
And we had plenty of trouble with the snap, and we hit the holder. And I don't know. I know in high school football, now that's an automatic penalty. Do we do that in youth football as well? Now, they may say that since he bobbled the snap, that might change the scenario a little bit because there is not a flag.
They'll go back to the 40. We'll have a kickoff.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn
The
soccer.
Tigers basketball program.
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may
To
concern.
whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
As we've got the Bruins with their 14-0 lead, they're set to kick off. And as Richard and I have talked about it, the Stillwater Pioneers are getting ready for only their 2nd possession of the game and find themselves down by 2 scores and a big 2-point extra point.
Kickoff goes out of bounds, so it'll be, I do believe, at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. and a 5-yard penalty from the 32. I'll put it at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Stillwater after the kickoff goes out of bounds. 4:56 remaining in the first half of play as soon as we set the ball.
It looks like they're going to set the ball right about the 35-yard line. We'll correct that. We'll put it at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 Stillwater, and they have to get their offense moving.
Clock's running. Same formation. Single receiver to both sides of the field. Reverse. And a great job. And now it's handed off to Adams, and he gets hit at the 41-yard line, carries him to the 42 on the tackle number 1, Zane Agnew. And looks like Jaden Adams does a little bit of everything for Stillwater. As now they're running the hurry up, and they pick up 5 on the play, and they're back in the same formation, reverse bone gun formation. Pulling lineman, great block on the edge, but sheds the block, makes him turn back in.
Richard talked about the great block up front. We'll credit big number 22. They ran in behind him. They had pursuit from the backside, but Hornbeck had a nice block. The hole was actually there. They just couldn't hit it quite quick enough to turn that into positive yardage. So now we're looking at 3rd down, and 3rd down and about 7 is what we're looking at here.
Great job by Carter Vaughn getting penetration and turning it back into the linebackers as we close in on 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Single receiver to both sides, gun. Back snap, hand off to the back. We got a false start, most likely, yes. And that just kills you as now it's 3rd down and 10 for the Stillwater Pioneers.
And as we talked about earlier, we're going to go field side. Take it away, Elise.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach Taylor and her daughter Isabella here at the Bruins game. We are 14 up right now, and I'm talking a little bit. Cheering for such a team.
Fun.
Do you want to be a up?
Yes.
Just like your mom?
Yes.
Team is really, they would be traveling or even competitive cheer would be unstoppable. Girls.
Because the fact that that's from scratch. It wasn't anything that they watched very easily. Big deal. So as they get older,
what's something that you're trying to implement in these take with them on and off the field?
and stop doing anything.
No, but we're almost quarter. You guys are on.
Thanks a lot, Elise, as she gave us a perspective of the cheerleaders with one of the coaches and one of the young cheerleaders. And as we were away, number 14, Hunter, with the interception, and that puts the Bartlesville Bruins back on offense. Michael Kent
gets back to the line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd down at the Stillwater 41-yard line, 3rd down and 6. We're now closing in on 2 minutes remaining until halftime. And as we talked about before, Stillwater's only had the ball twice. And if they want to, they could hold the ball here. And if they get a 1st down here, could almost run the first half out. It's 3rd down and 6, gunned. Now Kent looks to pass, got a guy wide open. Falls through his hands. Good effort there by the wide receiver. Just couldn't reach it. Bring up 4th down and 6.
C.J. Glasgow back there for the Stillwater defense. It's 4th down. So now the Bartlesville Bruins have a decision to make. I don't think we'll see them punt here because it's only 4th and 5. In fact, they're kind of going in a hurry. Michael Kent again runs the offense. Yes, sir. Tom. Stillwater defense that particular time was able to hold their water, and Kent tries to turn the corner, and he does. And look out up the boundary.
He'll does a smart job stepping out of bounds. No reason to take a hit if you don't have to. One of the best players to ever do that was Emmett Smith. If he didn't have to take a hit, why take it? As your body will take hits for a long time. And we're under 2 minutes remaining until halftime. Be 1st down and 10 for the Bruins at the Pioneer 27-yard line.
Well, the key to this ballgame, it seems like the Bruins have spent most of their afternoon in Stillwater territory. And unfortunately for the Stillwater offense, they've spent most of their time in their territory as well. Michael Kent sets up. He's the lone back. He'll go out of the shotgun as normal, and he wants to run the exact same play to the far side, or actually the near side, and that's Jaden Adams with a big tackle.
Him and Daniel Hornbeck did a tremendous job closing it down. We have a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be against Bartlesville. Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage is what I think the call is, yeah. And it'll back them up 5 yards and be first down and 15.
Which that's kind of strange to conceptualize when you only have one man in the backfield, but all that means is that the guys that got up to the line of scrimmage didn't read their keys correctly, didn't look at the official and get the set, so they didn't get up close enough. They're kind of in the same formation now, and he's looking to the sidelines and getting the play.
Gets back to the line of scrimmage, second down, but we're down with a minute and a half remaining. Under a minute and a half remaining in the first half.
So it's two great plays from the Stillwater Pioneer defense as there's been no gain on first or second down. And then we've got a timeout on the field. It's going to be taken by. In fact, we just have basically what we've got. We've got a little officials timeout as we got a little equipment problem with Kent's chin strap, and one of the officials will help him out with that, and that'll give us a chance to say one more time, thanks to Dick's Sporting Goods for always being there for INFC football. Talon Lackey will come off for the Bruins. Michael Kent makes a move in the backfield, and we might have larceny. Jeremy Foster, did he get it? And he did. Jeremy Foster with a huge play, and they really needed that one as the Stillwater Pioneers defender not only made the strip, but the recovery, and it's 1st and 10 to the Stillwater offense. Apparently Richard's checking his fan mail over here. He's got probably 8 viewers at home that are keeping track of him on Facebook, and just
got a reputation to uphold. Ain't a good one.
You
still got to uphold it.
Still got your 8 friends. I appreciate that. I only have 4.
Now I'm down to 6, unfortunately.
Because of me.
First down and 10. Handoff on the stretch. Jet sweep to number 23. That's David Thomas, and brought down at the 39-yard line. And it'll be a quick timeout by Stillwater. 34 seconds remaining, and I bet you see Stillwater use all their timeouts, and this last 34 seconds will last 8 minutes.
They got to try to do all that they can to see if they can't
get to that lead.
Hank Stram used to say, to matriculate the football down the field and put some points on the board before half, because Richard pointed it out. Stillwater had the ball 4 times in the first half so far. They were able to put up 14 points. This is only the 3rd possession for the Stillwater group, and they haven't scored yet.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn
The
soccer
Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
The 5th grade ball game that will come your way next, we'll have another Glenpool Warrior team. The Blue Squad from Glenpool takes on the 5th grade BA Black Tigers. I know Richard CO, the head coach for the Broken Arrow group, has been involved in INFC football for probably over 20 years, and this is his back-to-back trips to the INFC finals. Last year he came up on the negative side of it, and now we're into the secondary, and look out.
Nice
Jaden
run down the
Adams.
47-yard line of the Bruins. Let's see if they're going to run hurry up or if they're going to have to call timeout, because now the clock's running, and it's under 20 seconds. Nope. They're running
Tate
the play
Menard sets up in the shotgun. He'll run the offense. Ball's knocked loose. We had all kinds of pursuit from the Bartlesville Bruin defense. Let's see who came away with the football. They'll signal it to be second down, so that tells us that Stillwater did indeed keep the football.
And they'll call a timeout also.
The clock works inside of 5 seconds, and we do have a timeout taken by the offense. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we're going to have a halftime show from both the lady cheerleading groups, and as Richard so correctly pointed out during our first ball game, We don't highlight the cheerleaders maybe quite as much as we probably should, but they're an intricate part of what we do in INFC football. We thank all the cheerleading moms for all the hours that they dedicate to the girls. We thank the girls for participating. And your halftime show will be brought to you by Permabuilt. We'd like to thank them for being a sponsor for today. They sponsored our halftime show. Thanks to Mr. Kent for stepping forward. If you have foundation problems, call the professionals at Permabuilt. Free quotes. Even if you own a new home and you're wondering about your foundation, don't worry. Just call Permabuilt, and they'll give you the answer and a free quote.
We come back. It'll be 2nd down and 13. We have now 5 seconds remaining.
So barring a penalty, this indeed should be the last play of half number 1, which could take us to the break. Barring a score here from the Stillwater group, we'll go to the break with the Bruins up 14-0.
And that'll bring us to halftime as he was wide open.
That was a well-designed play.
Great play call.
Did a little trickeration in the backfield, and as Richard talked about, the receiver had no one around it, but we could not complete the pass, and we are indeed at halftime with the Bartlesville Bruins on top of the Stillwater Pioneers by a score of 14-0. We'll go down to field side here momentarily. Apparently we're going to do a couple replays now, and we'll probably do the scoring plays, and yes, we will. That's the quarterback for the Bartlesville Bruins who got loose, and he'll take it.
That'll be Michael Kent as he took it to the house. Took it down inside the 10, and then they scored a few plays later as he goes in untouched in the right corner of the end zone. Mr. Kent does.
Now the next play that we'll probably see will either be the scoring play or it'll be the huge pitch and catch. No, we'll go away. No, here comes the caught. There we go. That was the pass reception
and then
that brought
followed with the late hit.
The personal foul, and then Kent says, hey, thank you so much. We'll dive it in the end zone, and we've got a touchdown to make it 13-0 or 14-0 because the second point after was indeed missed.
Great blocking at the point of contact, and he just barreled in over the top of him. And
so right now
we're heading to the field, and we'll have the Bartlesville Bruins. Looks like they'll be going first.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer.
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
Penalty.
And I don't see if they. I don't know if they can call this for going out of bounds because wasn't it touched by one of the Stillwater Pioneer players?
Well, that's what they're talking about right now. I'm going to say no, and it's out to the 40-yard line, 5-yard penalty for kicking it off out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for Stillwater at their own 40-yard line.
We talked about it as we went through the break. It's so important that Stillwater take this first possession of the second half and get some points out of it and do it rather quickly. Actually, we just watched it on replay, and we're not going to criticize because I don't know if you've seen how big the official is down there. That's my buddy Kevin Maclaw, so I would never criticize him, but that ball was indeed touched. What a run by number 44 for the Pioneers. That's Jaden Adams again. We do have a penalty on the play, and as my partner in the booth, Stickney, said we may have a face mask penalty on the defense. Now what we'll see is it at the 5-yard variety or 15?
Looks like it's 5 yards added to the end of the run. It'll be enough for a first down, and it'll be at the 48-yard line of the Bartlesville Bruins. Great opening start, only 19 seconds off the clock, and they've already moved from the 40 to the 48 of the Bruins. Be first down and 10. Same formation, single receiver each side. Jumbo backfield, reverse wishbone, out of the gun. And that corner there sneaking in again and coming from the backside, which is what you got to do, because if they're not going to throw it out there, and he is met hard at the line of scrimmage, Adams is on the carry, bring up 2nd down and 10 as we close in under 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Great job by the inside part of that defensive line, led in by number 44, Braxton Loudermilk, and number 72, I do believe. No, that's not 72. That'd be 22, Austin Jenkins.
Jenkins was the
flag
one.
On the play. Offsides against the
defense.
Bruins. I want to say they probably lined up in there.
Yeah,
no I didn't see anybody move.
So.
Right. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. The mental mistake by the Bruins early in the third quarter is they've quickly moved down inside Bruin territory to the 43. Bring up 2nd down and 5. Single receiver each slide.
Well, you notice, too, that the Stillwater coaching staff has identified what we talked about. They're playing with an added sense of immediacy here, calling the plays quicker, running them quicker.
And feeding number 44, Adams, quicker.
And got the second first down. They've got the drive moving. This is really the first positive.
Well, 2 first downs now. I don't think they've had 2 first downs on a drive yet, and this is the first one they've taken it, but they've done what they needed to do is they've quickly moved the ball 22 yards down to the 38 of the Bruins. Slow snap, quick handoff inside, great job, but it's a great job by the defense standing them up, but that offensive line pushing the pile down to the 35-yard line, pick up a 3, bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Pioneers as they've, like Don really put a lot of emphasis on early in our broadcast, they've got to do something here with the ball because the Bruins have showed they can chew clock and score with it, and they can't afford to lose more time. As you see the corner now, he's not even guarding 24.
No, not at all. And he's going to come straight down and scrape. He seals the edge. Now he'll try to go in there and help.
And it's loose. And I want to say it's Bartlesville's ball. Yes, it is. As Kevin and those big triceps popped out and signaled the ball for the Bruins. We lost that whole sideline again. But what a great job by Michaeloff as he was jumped top of that play. As he jumped on that play and saw everything that he needed to see, that it was the Bruins like a rat on a Cheeto. He was on it really, really quick.
Well, you can see that he's identified as the umpire, and so he sets up in the middle of the defense. In this particular league, he's actually a lot deeper than he is in high school football. In high school, he's right there.
And they got the fifth guy in high school to call the back judge. And so now Michaeloff, with that great athletic ability, has to really cover a lot of the field, and that's why they put the big monster right there in the middle. Nice play by the defense, led in there by number 22, Daniel Hornbeck, as it's a big loss on first down, brings up second down, and we're closing in already on 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Great to see the emotion for one of the big boys up front. Hornbeck, we talked about him earlier with a nice block as his offensive lineman's position. Now he's the defensive lineman. He makes a big hit behind the line of scrimmage and got up and showed everybody that he was excited about it. And that's what's neat about youth sports, is watching these kids get excited when they do well.
Cut inside. Nah, try to still bounce it outside, and there's just nothing out there.
But we do have a flag on
I'm
the
going to go holding on the back side on the pursuit. I'm going to go holding on the Bruins, most likely.
That was the white hat that tossed that one in there. And as Richard talked about, he threw it right at the feet of a few of the offensive linemen. So now it'll be a decision for the
They can either decline
coaches.
it, be third down, or you can take 10 yards and take them all the way back to the 21-yard line. Your defense is playing pretty good. I would try to back them up, go ahead and let them re-snap it again, and make it second down and 25. And, maybe force a turnover this deep, but your defense is playing pretty good starting the third quarter.
Well, we talked about you don't ever want to be behind the chains. Well, they're not only behind the chains, they're on the other side of the gate, too.
And they can't see the chains.
No, it's second down, and as I say when I do announce the game's a broken arrow, it's second down in a bunch.
Nice run-off tackle. Nice job by number 8, Tate Bernard on the carry. Number 14, Michael Kent, picks up about 2 yards, it looks like, bring up still third down and long. But the thing is that's helping Bartlesville, and they're being smart right now, is they're just keeping the clock running. And we're closing in on 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter of play here at Lincoln Christian. What a beautiful day to be calling some football along with my buddy Don. Couldn't ask for a better place and a better seat in the house than right up here in the press box.
Well, on that last play, and one more time,
and it's always the guy right over the ball.
And Michael Kent pointed and said, hey.
Oh, but they called false start, though, against the Bruins. So that time he got bailed out.
Well, and that's Hornbeck. So maybe he saw what the official saw, and he said, hey, there's moving. I can go now.
Well, bring up third down. There's no reason to rush. See, he's holding them up, the coach is. He understands clock management right here, and he knows he don't have to snap it till about 3:55. You know what I'm saying? And this is just precious time to run off the clock. Now he can call something. See, that's what he's doing right now. Now he can call something, and all of a sudden now he's ran off an extra 15, 18 seconds. And he cuts inside, tried to cut outside, but the receiver got in his way. That's the only thing that's bad, is when the guy blocking gets in the way and slows everything up. And, it's one thing for the defense to clog it up, but when your lead blocker clogs it up, it makes it even more difficult.
Scholes was right there. He came all the way across the field. He had plenty of help. Number 87 for the Stillwater defense, that's Logan Furman. He set the edge, and now we've got a flag that come out of nowhere. We got unsportsmanlike on one of the players.
On the quarterback, number 14.
I was just going to say, since he's only in the 4th grade, we won't tell you who did it, but my partner says, why not? Apparently.
Yeah. And that's on the quarterback, it looks like, the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now, the neat thing about it is for the
But see why you took the penalty, though? Now you're at 4th and 27. Now, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to punt the ball and take the chance to just let them have it at their 30. But that's why Stillwater did it. But I'm going to wait and run the clock.
Well, you talked about he knows clock management, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he's going to do. For all practical purposes, you could take a too much time penalty right here.
He's just going to let it go down. But see, they're burnt just by being a little smart with it. They burned an extra 5 seconds.
They'll wait till the back judge starts his time. Now they call timeout.
And they're going to punt. No, I think they don't call a timeout. They just said we're going to punt it. But you ran 25 seconds off the clock.
You don't have to right.
That's right. And they'll get the ball at the 29-yard line. but you move the field position. But what you did was you ran off almost 30 seconds off the clock, and they understand the importance of those few seconds here and there, So Stillwater now has their best chance, Don, down at the Bruin 29-yard line, back on why they took that holding call and backed them up, and then the unsportsmanlike conduct after a loss really hurt them. And you're seeing Stillwater now have a chance to cap in on this, and the clock's running under 2:55 remaining in the third quarter.
So this is the deepest penetration that the Pioneers have been able to start a drive at. So as Richard talked about, very important that we come away with this for points, because we will be in the fourth quarter before you know it.
And that's where that corner came from, and he went to the other side, and that was a nice run by number 4, Anel DeRogers. But number 2, the corner, just left his side, went to the strong side, and Stillwater saw that, ran a cut back to where he was at, and vacated, and they pick up enough for a first down.
Yeah, the tackle was turned in by number 2, and all we're going to do is call him Christian. I'm not going to try that last name. Now we got an official's timeout as we got a player for the.
Yeah, he was holding his head. Is Loudermilk.
That's one of the Bruins that was shaken up on the play.
Yeah.
And then for the Stillwater Pioneers, Keelan Weaver, he'll hustle off as they brought in number 24, Kobe Acuff, with the play. 1st and 10.
Nice pursuit. Picks up a yard. Could have been a lot more. Brought down by number 6, Cade Lackey.
Well, I always got to point out when an offensive lineman does a good job, 4th grade football, correct? And we pull the lineman. Now, that's some plays that sometimes some of your junior high teams have a hard time pulling off. But in the 4th grade, big number 99 actually did his job. The running back decided to bounce it all the way to the outside rather than cut off his backside. But the lineman did his job, and we got a timeout on the field.
Stillwater Pioneers call a timeout. 2 minutes left. Left in the third quarter. I'd like to remind you, there's some of the Stillwater Pioneers that we've already brought up. Anel DeRogers on some couple great runs, quarterback Tate Bernard, and, of course, big number 22, Daniel Hornbeck. Coach Jonathan Knowles does a great job, and his kids. One of the big nasties, as you talk about, number 99, Kaya Knowles down inside, does a tremendous job over there, and I do believe Coach Bernard, who does the Stillwater High School team, is also over there. Coach Lackey is also the head coach of the Bartlesville Bruins, and, of course, his son, number 6 and number 10. He has a set of twins who are do a tremendous job, and their whole staff has done a great job for the 3 years that I've seen them in INFC. We're back from our timeout, 2nd down and 9 from the Bruin 16-yard line. Definitely 4-down territory for the Pioneers, as they've got to find a way to get it in the end zone.
They'll stay in the gun, and they'll put 3 in the backfield with the quarterback. They'll go back to big
nice
number
blocking
44.
off the right side, and Adams finds a way to wiggle his way down into the end zone. Touchdown, Pioneers. Handed off to number 44 as he found his way, Jaden, down the right side, staying in bounds, find his way into the end zone. Now quickly, it is now 14-6. And Stillwater has answered and done exactly what they needed to do here in the third quarter.
Well, if they don't get points off that drive, it was going to be probably a pretty disappointing fourth quarter for it, because we've already we've already identified the fact that the Bartlesville coaching staff, they're working clock already, and as they should, but that may change that philosophy now. But here's what we talked about. They have to make this point after, because if they don't, even with them scoring again, if they cannot kick, they're in deep trouble.
And the extra point is no good, and it keeps it at 2 possessions. Because I guess obviously Stillwater can't kick, or they would have tried there, right? And so now it's 2 possession games still because of that extra point that they kicked and made, even though they didn't get the second one. Now we're at 14-6, 1:51 remaining. We'll see if that extra point comes back and haunts the Pioneers. But they did exactly what they needed to do, Don. They found a way to get a score in the third quarter, and this ought to be a pretty exciting last 10 minutes of the ballgame.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer.
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
I'm sure hoping that those of you who are at home can pick up some of the sights and sounds that we're seeing around the ballpark, because they're playing some outstanding music when we have a break in the action. And one of the neat things is they have a little park off to the far side underneath the scoreboard, and you can see all kinds of little kids out playing their own little football games like they used to. Hey, and coming up next, we got a shootout in the 6th grade. Actually, the 5th grade game's next, but we'll look at the lineup for the 6th grade game. Will be TYAA taking on Bixby Red, and we've talked a lot about that. That's a repeat of a repeat, because this is the 3rd time that these two same teams will meet in the INFC Championship Finals. The Bixby group has came up on the positive side the last 2 times, so you know that the coaches over there for TYAA, Coach Goff, the director of the program, and his beautiful wife, Kelly, they do a great job with our TYAA group. And each and every year, one of the consistencies that we see in Championship Saturday is you always see at least one TYAA team here almost every year.
But it shows you how everything's equaled out, because before you would see 6 to 8 of them. You'd see multiple games of matchup of TYAA. But like I said, coming up will be the Broken Arrow Tigers and against the Glenpool Warriors. They've already crowned one champion in the 3rd grade. Glenpool has, looking to try to crown another one in the 5th grade. We'll come back, 1st down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Go ahead, Don.
Well, in our little interview process before the ballgame, we learned that was the first time ever that a Glenpool team has been crowned champion. So now they have an opportunity to crown 2 in one day when they've never had one before. Quarterback on the keeper. That's the quarterback. That's Michael Kent. And he'll get real close to
the 48-yard line. Will bring up, looks like 2nd down and 6, and we're closing in on 1 minute remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. And all they got to do is, if they can find a way to get a 1st down here, snap the ball, they might not have to snap it again, and they'll run out the 1st quarter of play, or the 3rd quarter of play here at Lincoln Christian.
I kind of look for this play to go to the left-hand side, because through the formation what they did is they took Carter Vaughn from the right side and put him over on the left. So I'm looking for the quarterback to take the snap and head straight to the left side. How's that for?
Yeah, you go ahead. You can fool Don once, you ain't going to fool him twice. At least not in the same day he's awake.
Well,
they'll bring up 3rd down and 2, and they don't look like they need to snap it. See, he's bringing them over. No reason to snap the ball. Let the quarter run out. 3rd down and 2. Now you can figure it out. And they've run at least a minute off the clock, just being a little smart with the time, knowing, hey, we're up 14-6. No reason to hurry it up here. And that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter play with the Bartlesville Bruins up 14-6 over the Stillwater Pioneers.
So that gives us an opportunity with the sideline cameras is peeking in on the cheerleaders once again. And as we talked at one of our sidelines break, Elise had one of the cheerleading moms, and we'd like to thank them one more time. We probably, throughout the regular season, don't do a good enough job of recognizing all the efforts put in by the cheerleading portion of it. And I know at Broken Arrow, one of the main stays of our cheerleading program for years that we'll all miss tremendously is Tracy Phelps. All the halftime shows are in her honor today. Thank you, Miss Tracy, for all you did. We're now into the 4th quarter.
And it'll bring 3rd down and 2 when we come back at the Stillwater Pioneer 46-yard line. Bartlesville's looking up to move, pick up a 1st down, knowing if they can pick up a 1st down, they can run up another 2 minutes of the clock.
Okay, but fine. You're talking over the top of ZZ Top here.
Well, you're correct. My bad for the disrespect I showed to those long-bearded men, well-deserved. And once again, Don and his bad grandpa routine over here to my left quickly calm me down before ZZ Top finishes their song. So we're going to go in silence here for about 5 seconds. Oh, nope, it's over. Okay, 3rd down and 2 as we start the 4th quarter of play for the Bartlesville Bruins.
They'll work out of the shotgun, and one more time, that's Michael Kent. He'll turn it upfield. 1st down and more.
Down to the 38-yard line, and that's what they're looking for right there. Find a way. They found a little crease. If you can find a way to shield 44, shield 22, then you're going to have a chance. But we have an injured player. Looks like number 87, Logan Furman, is the injured Pioneer. Hopefully he's okay.
which gives the Bartlesville coaching staff, again, an opportunity. They can bring the troops over to the sidelines. That way they can talk about what kind of play they want to run. And I'm sure that at this point, the coach is also talking about, hey, look at me. Look at me. You're not going to snap it until I tell you to.
And if you do it before, you're going to have nothing but bread and water the rest of the weekend.
Well, now they're almost acting as though that we ran an untimed down there because only 1 second is actually clicked off the clock because it shows 7:59 on the scoreboard, and I think that's what might have happened. But yet, didn't we switch into the field? So now I'm really confused.
We did, but we should have snapped it. They should have started the clock. Should have been about at least 8 to 10 or 5 to 8 seconds ran off the clock.
Which may be exactly why the
he ran ahead and
official
started
rounded
at 10,
the clock as quick as he did. These guys are experienced. We talked about them early. These are all high school certified officials, so a lot of times they do a little clock management on their own because the guys that we have up here running the clock for us, they're volunteers. They do a great job. He's here every Saturday. We appreciate his efforts.
Nice run inside again by Kent. Finds a little crease and picks up another 5 yards. And now we're under 7.5 minutes. Clock still running. Bounds. Second grade. And he's now, Coach Bernard's telling him over on the Stillwater side to switch his defensive line over. And here's what's going to happen. If I'm Bartlesville, I'm seeing that. And now I'm going to start running counters. I'm going to line up like we're running that way. And I'm going to run counters to the backside.
Now we're going to see which side Vaughn comes to. Actually, Vaughn is now over here on the right side.
They're yelling at everybody else.
See if he can come over to the left side. Now, as he looks at the sidelines, 5 seconds, he points to the quarterback. Now we'll run it. And again, he's coming right straight at us.
Nice defensive play by Adams in the backfield, 3-yard loss. They had to have that. But see, that was called by the high school coach over there helping them out because he saw that they were running away.
Michael Kent again will be the lone setback in the backfield for the Bruins, and he'll try to cut it to the outside.
And
just
there's
as I
the
say
hole,
that,
and there's the first down.
And more.
Nice job. Way to get down. All the way down the 22-yard line. Now we got a legal hit on Stillwater, and that'll be on number 50, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Stillwater Pioneer, and that'll be half a distance to the goal.
And Elder Rogers was the Stillwater Pioneer that initially was able to get Kent to the ground. But as a broadcast partner pointed out, we had a personal foul on the defense, and that's a big one because that'll mark it inside.
The 15-yard line should be down about the 11 if I'm guessing right, Don. And, yep, I'm guessing right this time. And it's unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's, we've seen one on each team, and one of them led to a touchdown for the Pioneers on the unsportsmanlike conduct against Bartlesville, and let's see if this does the same thing against Stillwater and leads to a Bartlesville touchdown. First down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Clock's running. They're in no hurry.
Absolutely.
Hurry.
No.
Under 5:45 remaining. Shorten the game, score a touchdown here, and just keep playing your defense, and you're going to be okay. But now they're bringing a little extra pressure. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but guess what? They're going to re-snap the ball. By the time they reposition everything, he goes back and starts the clock. It's going to be under 5 minutes remaining before he gets going.
Well, and I think we can identify who the star of the game so far for the Pillwater. How about the Stillwater Pioneers? That's number 44, Jaden Adams, on both sides of the ball. He's a difference maker.
No, he's on the right side, so guess where I'm going to run? I'm going to run off to the left side.
Absolutely.
If I run to his side, I'm going to double him.
And Richard was right. He did come to the right side, but the
great job by number 50.
The defensive end.
Is that number 53?
Side?
Yep, 53. That'd be Tommy Mills for the Pioneers. It'll bring up third down and 13. Third down and 13.
Got somebody apologizing to me for something. I don't know what happened, but apparently we're changing cables to our field mic because, again, we had a little technical difficulty getting Elise's last interview, so we'll switch cables out and we'll go to second down.
4.5 minutes remaining. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up fourth down and 10. And by the time they snap the ball, we're going to be down to about 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And they're running no hurry. They're running the hurry-up offense. They hurry up and get there. Overload to the right side. Looking to draw him off sides. Great job.
Yeah, the Stillwater group did their job that
They're gonna
time
call
on
timeout.
defense. They held their ground. Now, Michael Kent looks to the sideline, as Richard talked about. They'll probably think about taking a timeout, but instead, in the last second, before they got the too much time, they actually snapped the football.
Great job by the Pioneer defense. They held us inside the 15-yard line on 4 consecutive downs, and it'll be it'll bring up first down and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Make it the 13-yard line first. Well, they keep moving it around. So first down and 10 from their own 12 for the Pioneers, and they got to find a way to go down and score and kick it. So we got 3:38 and counting.
But the best thing for the Stillwater Pioneers and all their fans listening at home, the best thing that you guys can hang your hat on, your defense, they rose up right there because it was first down at the 11-yard line, and I don't know that the Bruins got hardly a yard after that.
Well, that's a nice play from that corner, Christian Katuku, as he's not even worried about the wide receiver, just going down and crashing. Oh, excuse me, that was number 6, Cade Lackey, as he didn't even worry about the pass. He just came down the line of scrimmage, loss of 2 on the play. Bring up second down and 12 for the Pioneers. But what they're doing right now is taking way too much time, Don. Way too much time. No sense of urgency to get back. We're under 3 minutes in the fourth quarter, and if you can't kick, you got to have the ball and score twice. And now we're running a boot out of it, and nice job by the Bartlesville defense. Another loss on the play, bring up third down, and right now they took the snap at 3 minutes and 11 seconds, ran one play, and we're under 2.5 minutes now, but now we got a timeout. Looks like timeout, Stillwater, and that'll leave them with just one timeout for 2 minutes, last minute, 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Well, the first drive of the second half, the Stillwater Pioneer offense came out, as Richard talked about, and they had a sense of urgency. I mean, they were going in a hurry. It's like almost they had maybe more than one play called at a time, but on this particular drive, it's almost like they're back to how they performed in the first half. And I don't know if it's maybe fatigue a little bit, because, in this age group, you got a lot of kids that go both ways. But I know the Bruins sidelines, they're sitting there thinking, man, how in the world can we just get this last 2:37 to click off, because we want to meet at the Dick's Sporting Goods hardware table and collect us a gold football, or actually it's crystal, but they give them a huge crystal football. I believe that's brought to you by Budding Impressions. And as the Bartlesville cheerleaders try to get the crowd up, they've got their young mascot running through the stands. Now we got a deep throw.
Nice defense.
And then dropped.
But nice defense, though. They've been leaving them unattended, and all of a sudden, guess who's back here in coverage? Mr. Kent, the quarterback, Michael Kent.
Glasgow was your intended receiver. Now it's bring up fourth down and 13.
They can get the turnover here. You can turn out the lights, because there's a chance you're running the ball 4 times and have a chance to score. If not, it's going to be tough for them to come down with 2.5 minutes remaining.
And with Stillwater only having one timeout left, you could possibly go into that formation you talked about in that first game that you love so much, that victory formation. Look out!
But it stops him before he gets the first down. It'll be a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
And Nell DeRogers on the carry, and the excitement on the Bartlesville sidelines. The coaches have pretty much figured out that unless something disastrous happens, do we have a flag on the play?
No, we have an injured player, it looks like, over there. Kevin Michaeloff's looking at him.
And I think you got
I think Bartlesville went ahead and called timeout. 2:21 remaining.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer.
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
Now the Stillwater group on the opposite side of that, they've got to be thinking, how in the world can we strip this?
They're going to be
Can
stripping
we strip it and pick it up? Can we scoop and score? We've got to do something to get the ball back. But Michael Kent says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to go pick up a first down and make most of this a moot point, because now, as the clock works inside of 1:40, it's getting real close to the time where all they got to do now is snap it back to Mr. Kent, and he can take a knee.
I expect him to go get the first down, then take the knee. He's going to run the clock until he starts it. He's looking at his coach. See, the linemen are switching. Adams is coming over here. This is where it'd be a great idea if they could run a counter back to the weak side.
Austin Jenkins will check out for the Bruins. And again, one more time, he looks over at the sidelines. Now we've got a
helmet snap problem.
Yep. And as you'll notice, Michael Kent is staring right directly at the official. He'll count him down. He'll give him a 5-second count. He'll snap the ball at about 3. There we go.
Just
As
hold on
Richard
to the
talked
ball.
about. One more time. That's the big boy up
Stillwater
front.
used their last timeout right there. So this should be the ball game, though. You run the ball one more time. Yeah, it's going to be 4th down, but you're not going to give them the ball with anything left.
But Daniel Hornbeck, he did his job on defense. That's all they can be thinking
those
about.
front guys for Stillwater have done an incredible job all night long, all afternoon long, doing a great job of controlling everything.
You know, I don't care what sport you participate in. This is some of the funnest times when you believe in your own mind that you've got it. Unless you do something crazy, you're going to accomplish the ultimate goal. I don't know how many teams participated in the 4th grade across the INFC spectrum this year, but there had to be at least, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, 50 teams in the 4th grade?
Sure.
So they're ultimately going to be crowned the champions unless they turn it over. Their coaches have. We got Carter Vaughn over here waving the towel up at the crowd, getting everybody fired up. I don't think you can have to worry about that, Carter. They're fired up as it is. We got moms with cowbells. The cheerleaders are going crazy. And one more time, the quarterback Kent will keep it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The clock didn't even start, though, until the ball was already snapped, and that's what they're looking at Bartlesville up at the clock, because they lost 5-6 seconds, him not running the clock. And see, now that 5 or 6 seconds, that snap would have been after 25 seconds. But you know what you do? You run down to 6 seconds, go ahead and run the ball again, and see what happens.
And if you break a couple tackles, we could run the clock out on this play, because he's going to have to snap it at somewhere around 6. And they may just take a too much time penalty right here, and they will.
They're going to call a timeout. And that's the ball game. He let the clock run out.
And
not sure. I don't know. No, I'm not sure what's happening here, because see, he said we're not doing nothing yet. They ran the clock out. There's still 6 seconds
hold on,
left.
Everybody.
Yeah, there's still 6 seconds left on the sideline, or 4 seconds, and the poor clock guy.
Everybody, but the.
I mean, the poor clock guy has not been following what the officials have been telling him to do and stopping, starting it, and so it's 4th down and 4, and they're going to have to take a snap. And
well, and this is all that, and this is what there's a lot of people who say, oh well, but why are we doing this? It's over. It's this. It's that. No, it's not over. There's 2 seconds left, as we talked about. Now, I don't think they're going to give you an opportunity to strip the ball here, because
no, what I'm doing is I'm taking a snap, and I'm going to run back to about the 45-yard line.
And then I'll take a knee.
And then I'll run back over here to my sideline and then
celebrate again.
And celebrate. I'm taking and running the opposite direction.
So as long as we get the snap back correctly to the quarterback, those people up Highway
that's what I'm doing right there.
75 are going to be so excited because they've won the INFC championship.
That's a great play call by Bartlesville, and they did a great job of running the clock out. And your 2019 4th grade INFC champions will be your Bartlesville Bruins. Great job by Stillwater making it all the way up here. They did a tremendous job. Great job by Stillwater in the second half as they shut out Bartlesville 6-0. But the first half and the first 2 drives put it away for Bartlesville. That's what they hung their hats on, and that's the final 14-6.
Well, you talked about it when it took place. One of the next things is the fact that being able to kick the extra point. So let's rehash what we've seen so far in the third grade ball game. We had the Glenpool Warriors became the first Glenpool team ever to win an INFC championship 18-0 over Collinsville. Game number 2, we've got Stillwater on the backside of a 14-6 score. Coming up next, Glenpool one more time takes on your Broken Arrow Tigers.
And then we got TYA for the third time playing your Bigsby Red Spartans. And then again, we'll close out the evening here at the beautiful sunset here at Lincoln Christian under the lights, Muskogee and Jinx.
That'll do it from up here at Lincoln Christian till about 2 o'clock. But coming back at about 1:50, we're going to have a
interview.
Guest in the booth.
We'll have Trandy Birch up here, the principal for Lincoln Christian, and we'll kind of see what's happening here at Lincoln Christian High School over the last few years and what they got coming in the future. We'll see y'all soon. Stay tuned.
And thanks to Dick's in Permaville.